student loan debt was a topic that people actually went to the polls for. And I think they're going to go to the polls this cycle. I'm riddled with student loan debt. I'm from the congressman's home state of Ohio, and your home state, 1/8 of your population could actually benefit from this program. And I think people should be really careful about making fun of folks who have student loan debts. There are teachers, there are nurses, there are firefighters, there are law enforcement. They are people who are public servants that they're not getting their minimum wage raised because we know the Republicans don't want to do that. They're not getting better school. You're talking about pre-K. It's not like people are passing policies to actually help our education system. There are people who can't get from under it because of the way that interest is set up. And that it is a different type of loan, because when you take out a house mortgage, you can actually sell that house and get rid of that debt. You can't get rid of student loan debt. It is with you for the rest of your life.
The problem is this does absolutely nothing to address the issue of higher education being unaffordable. And the fact that we're saying people who are making six figures, $125,000 a year, are going to have their student debt forgiven when the median income in this country is $67,000 a year. I am all for more programs if we want to have loan forgiveness for teachers, for nurses, AmeriCorps, the Peace Corps. Those things work to fill roles that we need to. But just to say, you have a graduate degree, but a third of this country didn't even have the opportunity to go to college, to get an associate's degree, didn't have the credit to take out a loan that they later can't pay back. It plays to this notion, I'm sorry, but that the Democrats are becoming the party of elites. And Donald Trump played to that. There's a reason working Americans turned out for Donald Trump, who I'm no fan of, but this is playing right into that.
It's a new feeling for me, the third person at the table jumping on top of a dog pile.
Playing the role of Scott Jennings.
Yes.
We flipped this week.
That's right. I think many important and smart things have been said at this table, so I'll just add a couple. I feel like we've reached the Joker phase of the Biden presidency. All we're lacking now is the face paint and a purple suit. He's riding a parade float down Pennsylvania Avenue, just tossing money out the window here. And it's totally lawless. It's completely unconstitutional. It completely is in violation of our norm. You got a president with no agreement from Congress spending up to $500 billion. I mean, this is a massive, massive thing, and it's unprecedented. And Biden ran as someone who was going to restore our norms and restore the balance and restore our, laws and institutions. And this is completely in opposition to all of that, all for politics. Some people have analyzed it that it's for politics for the midterm. This is primary politics. This is a guy who wants to run for re-election and who, in the polling, which group of Democrats hates him the most? The young Democrats. And so it is a payoff for the 2024 primary.
We move on now to another developing story tonight in Indianapolis. 3 Dutch soldiers were shot and wounded outside their hotel. The soldiers were in the U.S. for training. ABC's Zachary Keish is following the late details just coming in.
Tonight, there's an urgent search underway in Indianapolis after 3 soldiers who happen to be in the Dutch military were shot.
It was a shootout in front of the Hampton Inn. Confirmed 3 people shot, 2 critical.
Police say the gunfire erupted outside a hotel the men were staying in around 3:30 this morning. It happened in the heart of the entertainment district.
Additional callers are saying the male shot in the head at the main entrance.
Investigators believe the shooting occurred after an altercation between the soldiers and the suspected gunman. The Dutch defense minister says those soldiers were part of the Commando Corps and were in the city for training. Tonight, Indianapolis police say 2 of the men were critically wounded and the 3rd is in stable condition. Dutch officials say those soldiers were outside of the hotel and on free time when the shootings occurred. They also mentioned that their family members have been notified.
Zachary Keish, thank you.
If justice wanted to charge the former president with a crime, doesn't it appear they already have enough evidence just simply on the mishandling of these classified documents?
Chuck, if any of us in the House of Representatives, who by our election we have, in essence, the highest level of security clearance, if any of us walked out intentionally with even one document from the SCIF, which is where we can go see classified documents at, and our organization came to us, the House came to us and said, you got to give this document back, and we refused to do it for years, we'd be in real trouble. The hypocrisy of folks in my party that spent years chanting lock her up about Hillary Clinton because of some deleted emails or quote-unquote wiping a server are now out there defending a man who very clearly did not take the national security of the United States to heart.
I'm just curious. Liz Cheney said that in some cases she may have to help a Democrat win against sort of an anti-democracy Republican. Do you feel that's what you're going to be doing over the next couple of years yourself?
Yeah, I mean, look, the biggest issue, not everybody agrees with me, certainly in my party, and even Democrats that like to say things like, well, but you're still a conservative. Yeah, I'm a conservative. But the bottom line is the biggest threat right now to our country is democracy. And if you have Republicans that are running against even left-wing Democrats that believe in democracy and believe in voting, that person should be elected over somebody who basically would overthrow the will of the people and ultimately destroy this country.
This Artemis 1, it's been a big project in the making. It's taken years. There's the usual delays that you have. If this doesn't work, what does that mean for NASA?
Well, it's going to work. This first flight is a test. We test it, we stress it, we make this rocket and the spacecraft do things that we would never do with a human crew. The main purpose of the flight is to test the heat shield, because you can't test that in a lab. Right. So if the heat shield survives and does what it is expected to do, it's a successful test. So then we're ready in 2 years.
Is the moon going to turn into the South China Sea, where when China gets up there, we're up there? Is it going to be a land grab?
Well, we have to be careful about that. And that's what I've said all along, that we're in a space race. And we want to get to the south pole of the moon where the resources are, where we think water is. If there's water, there's rocket fuel. And we don't want China suddenly getting there and saying, this is our exclusive territory.
My dad just decided, you know what? Why not? So he took off his shirt. He jumps in the water.
Tom Ernst of South San Francisco was there in 2002 when his dad took a group out for a boat ride on Lakemead.
He was a big jokester, so he would always mess around with us. But next thing we know, he was basically screaming for help.
Tom was 10 at the time. He says despite efforts to rescue, then search for his dad, he never saw him again.
What we figured is...
Now 31, Tom spent the past 2 decades holding out hope his dad is still alive. This year, declining lake water levels have led to the discovery of several bodies. Tom says the Clark County Coroner's Office asked him and his sister to do DNA tests. He says this week the county was finally able to confirm one of those bodies belonged to his dad, Thomas Ernst.
It's nice to have the closure. It's nice to know that he's at peace. But I don't think I'm ready for my closure yet. It's just been so hard to really think of it that way.
As Tom tries to wrap his head around this new information, he's remembering the hobbies he used to enjoy with his dad and hoping the receding lake waters may bring answers for other families too.
Welcome back to Unfiltered. Listen, the shock of all shocks. Mark Zuckerberg admitting to Joe Rogan on his podcast that not only did Facebook censor the Hunter Biden laptop story, but it was the FBI who pushed him to do it.
The FBI, I think, basically came to us, some folks on our team, and was like, hey, just so you know, like, you should be on high alert. We thought that there was a lot of Russian propaganda in the 2016 election. We have it on notice that basically there's about to be some kind of dump of that's similar to that. So just be vigilant.
I know bombshell is overused in the media. That's a bombshell. Joining me now is Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Boebert. Congresswoman, thanks for joining us. I just want you to hear one more portion of this interview where Zuckerberg, he gets pressed by Rogan about the specific Hunter Biden laptop story. Take a listen to this. This is the worst part.
Did they specifically say you need to be on guard about that story?
No, I don't remember if it was that specifically, but it basically fit the pattern.
So, Congresswoman, they walk into Facebook, they wink and nod, Russian disinformation, and Facebook takes that as a cue to censor information that's negative about Joe Biden right before an election. This is election interference, textbook.
Absolutely it is. Mark Zuckerberg said the quiet part out loud on Joe Rogan's podcast. He said that the FBI worked with Facebook and other platforms to silence the Hunter Biden laptop from hell story right before the 2020 elections. You're right. That is election interference. Mark, and you know that he knew what was going on. He needs to own up to it. What's so important about Zuckerberg admitting to colluding with the federal government is that this once again proves Facebook censorship isn't just a private entity acting alone, but this makes Facebook a state actor, and therefore the full First Amendment protections apply. Never again do I want to hear another member of Congress say, oh, but Facebook is a private company. No, they're a state actor, silencing, suppressing, and reducing the distribution of speech. They need to be treated as such, and we protect free speech here. And they destroyed the DHS's and we destroyed the DHS's disinformation board. Facebook should take note how serious we are about protecting America's right to free speech.
Congresswoman, I am so glad you brought that up. These are not private actors. There's established court rulings. The government cannot deputize people to do what the government can't do itself. And then we had Alex Berenson, Congresswoman, too. Alex Berenson under attack by Twitter that apparently was communicating with the White House. Unfortunately, I'm out of time, but I'm so glad you brought that up. That's an excellent point. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks so much, Dan.
You got it. Zuckerberg's admission about the FBI was made on Joe Rogan's podcast. If you want to learn more about Joe Rogan's tremendous influence, there's a show on Fox Nation right now called Who is Joe Rogan? It's terrific. It's available at foxnation.com. Check it out.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.